welcome to Griffin S's ATV buying guide. Now, I would recommend doing your own research before buying, but this is just from my experience of owning what ATVs I've owned. Now, I currently own a Honda Rancher 420. It's a electric shifter. I made a full review on this, but it's an electric shifter, push up, push down, shift, with a 4-wheel drive knob right here. You push it up, you're on 4-wheel drive, you pull it back, you're out of 4-wheel drive. Now, with my experience of owning this ATV, it is a 2007 Honda Rancher 420 with electric shifter. I have problems with the electric shifter every now and then, but that's only if you don't ride for periods of time. But if I ride a lot, my electric shifter is perfectly fine. And over the time, I've owned one Honda, that's the only Honda, and 2 other Polarises. My first Polaris was an Outlaw. My second Polaris was a Sportsman 90, so they've both been smaller 4-wheelers. This is the biggest 4-wheeler I've owned so far since I started doing ATV. Now, this 4-wheeler is a fuel injected, and I've never had any problems out of it the whole entire time that I've owned it. Never. It always starts up for me. Everything's perfectly fine for me. Now, from my experience of riding, and I got a cousin who owns a Polaris Sportsman 500. I rode his some, so I'm comparing that with that because they're the closest. My 450 and his Polaris 500. So I'm going to compare those together with what I know. Now, obviously, do your own research. Don't just trust me. For ride quality, I'd pick Polaris because mine is a single suspension. His has dual suspension, as shocks on either side. It's independent rear suspension is what it's called exactly. Now, I owned the Polaris Sportsman 90. It had a carburetor problem. He's owned his Polaris Sportsman 500, and it's had carburetor problems also. So I don't know if that's just a Polaris problem in general, or it just happened to be our 2 Polarises. Now, from my experience and what I've learned online from doing my own research, is Hondas are meant more for work and Polaris are meant more for riding. I've rode his and I've rode mine. His, I feel like, rides smoother. Mine, I feel like, rides a little bit more rough, but I have loaded mine down with bags on the front and back, both at the same time, loaded with cow feed from a building, so I drive down to put it in the cow thing where I feed the cows, a full bag. And I feel like mine does really, really good on that type of stuff. And I've realized, or feel like, off the get-go, this gets more power, more umption to go than his does when it comes straight off. And I've not really rode his much off-roading too much, but the little bit I have, I feel like mine climbs terrain a little bit better, just because it gets more power to come over things. That's what I mean by that. Now, my ATV is an electric shifter with a push-up and push-down button, but if you wanted to, down here you can add a pedal shifter if you'd rather have a pedal shifter. So even if your electric shifter does go out, you can still shift with a pedal shifter. That will cost less than having to put in a new electric shifter system. Now, I'm pretty sure my cousin's 4-wheeler is a 2000s Polaris Sportsman 500. Now, mine is a 2007 Honda Rancher 420, and I got a little storage back here, which I showed off in a previous video of reviewing this whole entire 4-wheeler. I got a little slot down there. And then with my ATV, you have these metal racks. Back and front are metal, and his are only plastic. I don't know if that matters to somebody. Now, his is a 2000, mine's a 2007. We both get a pedal brake, a foot brake. And the setup that was on it originally when I got it from my uncle was fat tires on the front. Back, smaller tires on the front, bigger tires on the back. And if you're worried about having carburetor problems like I said my cousin did have, and I had with my Polarises, both my Polarises had carburetor problems actually, you can go get, like mine, where it's a fuel injected. You will not have a carburetor. It just injects the fuel directly into the engine instead of running through a carburetor. That's about all I have to say about if you're wanting an ATV, if you're trying to decide. But I would say do your own research before you buy it. Now, this four-wheeler is a fuel injected, and I've never had any problems out of it the whole entire time that I've owned it. Never. It always starts up for me. Everything's perfectly fine for me.